Good, happy Friday evening, December 11, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with COVID-19 updates. New Hampshire COVID information, new updates and data. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 28,273 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 15,577,813 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 584 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 852 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 292,034 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 498. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Nashua, 2640. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. Orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red deaths and blue recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily and antigen positive PCR and antigen test R and daily PCR test. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Nashua officials to meet Monday about proposed curfew. 9:30 p.m. curfew proposed to help curb spread of COVID-19. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
We all know the havoc climate change has wrought on our lives. That's why America's architects are taking action to ensure every building.
We are on the cusp of what's probably going to be the most challenging couple months of the pandemic. Cases are on the rise. Hospitals are getting slammed. Death counts are also on the rise.
The latest numbers for Nashua show 82 new cases, totaling 498 active cases, the second highest number in the state. The city has confirmed 2,640 total cases since the pandemic began. To combat the increase, the Board of Health is considering a 9:30 p.m. curfew.
Because we now have significant increase in infection and virus, we're also now starting to see the number of deaths increase in our community.
But some residents think the board is being far too draconian.
I am of the age that this virus is bad for my health. I am willing to take that chance because I feel it's in God's hands, not the Board of Health.
Restaurants and bars also feel that they're being singled out, but a board member says there is a reason.
You take off your mask to drink or eat. You don't do that at a market basket.
Nashua officials say they're currently dealing with 30 clusters of the virus. And although the director of public health says most of the cases are mild, the new ones are increasing in severity. And turning this around will require more than just an edict from the board.
It's society's responsibility as a whole to look out for the health and well-being of the community and of the public.
The board is planning to meet on Monday to come up with a recommendation, which will then be forwarded to the mayor and board of aldermen, who will decide then what, if anything, to enact. Reporting live, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. How to help the 2020 Spirit of Giving food drive is underway. Donate from December 11th through the 13th. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
'Tis the season to save at Beltate's Building Supply. With shovels, thermal gloves, and portable heaters all on sale through December 31st. Shop one of our 9 locations safely, order by phone, or shop online at beltates.com. Count on Beltates.
Well, the need to help people in New Hampshire is very real every year, but those at the New Hampshire Food Bank say, as with a lot of aspects of our lives right now, the need is greater than ever before this year. Now, a lot of people will be helped by the food on the shelves here at the New Hampshire Food Bank, and you can help make sure people in your community who struggle to find their next meal don't have that worry this season. We're teaming up with the Food Bank, Hannaford, Shaw's, and Walmart for our annual Spirit of Giving food drive. At stores statewide, you can give Hannaford $5 or $10 donation cards right as you check out. At Shaw's locations, you can add a financial contribution to your total, and Walmart has pre-packaged bags of food you can purchase and donate. The Food Bank estimates that 1 in 7 people in New Hampshire does not know when or where their next meal is coming from, and due to COVID-19, 21 to 23% of children in the state are living in food insecure environments.
I mean, this time of year, people are always generous anyways. But obviously 2020 has just added a whole different layer to that. Like you said, people struggling, depending on what kind of business you're in, you might be out of work, been out of work for a while. Your food banks are definitely getting strained, and this will definitely help fill up those food pantries.
Last year, the New Hampshire Food Bank distributed more than 14 million pounds of food. That's almost 13 million meals, and this year you can help do that again. In Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man's legacy of giving to New Hampshire Food Bank lives on with 10,000 donations. It's believed Ron Luke donated money for hundreds of thousands of meals in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Make the decision to be there for the veterans in your life. Learn more at BeThereForVeterans.com.
Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate everything that Ron has done for Hannaford and also New Hampshire Food Bank.
A $10,000 check to the New Hampshire Food Bank from Hannaford. It will go a long way in feeding families, and the reason behind it, a special customer who became more like family.
He actually came up and he bought $30,000 worth of product for the Buy One, Give One program, and so that in turn forced Hannaford to have to donate $30,000 of product as well too. So it was very, very impressive, and very humbled man, and I just really nice connection with the guy.
That man was Ron Locke. He started the gesture as a Christmas present to his wife and kept the generosity going year after year. WMUR was proud to cover his acts of kindness. Ron passed away recently. His family at the Hannaford and Raymond adamant that his legacy of giving live on.
If my calculations are correct, he has impacted 360,000 meals in the state of New Hampshire. I don't know if there's one person that could say that has impacted that many people.
Ron's family and his wife were there at the check presentation in his name, in a sense getting one more Christmas present from her late husband, who wanted to make sure that everyone had a seat and a meal at the table.
Ron's legacy is going to live on, and he's going to help those people that need the support right now. He had a big heart.
Absolutely an amazing story. And Ron's friends at Hannaford said one of the things they loved about him was he always liked to challenge the community to pitch in and do good. So they are offering up the challenge. If anyone wants to follow in Ron's footsteps of generosity, they would be more than happy to hear from you. You can find more about this year's Spirit of Giving food drive on WMUR.com and our mobile app.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. A great story there. Anonymous donor will match every dollar up to $100,000 for Spirit of Giving food drive. Learn how you can donate in the link below. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Up quickly, remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are...
Our Spirit of Giving food drive is underway, and a generous anonymous donor wants to help double donations.
We are so excited to be once again the beneficiary of a $100,000 anonymous matching gift for the Spirit of Giving campaign. And that's huge to us because, for every dollar we're able to provide 2 nutritious meals. So if that $100,000 gets matched by another $100,000 or $200,000, that's 400,000 meals that we're going to be able to provide.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Litchfield Teachers Union opposed to resuming full-time in-person learning on Monday. Despite concerns raised by local teachers and the Litchfield Education Association, Litchfield schools are set to reopen on Monday with full in-person learning until holiday break. 2 more Concord schools moved to remote learning due to coronavirus. Beaver Meadow Elementary and Millbrook Primary School will change models like other city schools due to community transmission and quarantines. The Concord School District is moving 2 more schools from the hybrid learning model to nearly fully remote after community transmission of the coronavirus led to extensive educator and student quarantine and absentee. Interim School Superintendent Kathleen Murphy informed SAU 8 parents Friday that students at Beaver Meadow Elementary School and the Millbrook Primary School will move to remote learning Monday. Remote learning will remain in place until the Martin Luther King Jr. Civil Rights Day holiday. This decision was based on available staff as well as the number of students who are home in quarantine, Murphy said. Murphy said the district learned of the positive cases connected to the first grade cohort B at Millbrook on Friday, but that student had not been in class for a week, 5 days longer than the 48-hour contagion period. Staffers at the school had been in contact with the state health department. Instruction for students will be delivered using the same model used earlier this school year, including 4 days of synchronous teaching per week, she said. Monday will be a flex day for school where students and parents can get their learning materials for students, Murphy said. Broken Ground and Christian McAuliffe elementary schools will remain in hybrid learning model, with Murphy administrators and educators continuing to monitor the operational aspects of both schools. Abbey Downing Elementary School, Concord High School, and Renlet Middle School are all in remote learning for most students. Absentees has gone up, Murphy said, with the youngest staying home, and SAU 8 seeing an uptick in absentee students district-wide. Normally, absentee is around 5 to 6% right now. It is up probably close to 10%, she said. Expectations were being made for some of more vulnerable learners at the two schools, including special education students and English learners, who will still be brought into the schools where needed and available, although it will be very limited. Transportation for those students and food distribution will still be available. Murphy said community transmission, not infection inside schools, were continuing to cause problems with staffing and students and families being forced to stay home, including all of the schools that have moved to remote learning. In January, the district will examine community spread staffing as well as the health of students before deciding to return to hybrid learning models. Murphy recommended the following safety measures to keep families safe during the pandemic, and here's a look at those measures. As you can see here, here's a look at the list of measures. Children may worry about themselves, their families, and friends getting sick with the coronavirus. These tips can be used to talk to children about COVID-19 here. And that is it for this Friday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.